When I set out to make an animal harvesting machine, I wanted something that would manage large amounts of animals at once. I considered building something that utilized minecarts and rails, but realized that managing animals that are basically unmanageable wasn't the direction I wanted to go in. I decided to go with a design that can handle large amounts of animals at once. Due to this design choice, I ended up with a machine that can not only handle animals in masses, but can also process multiple different types of animals simultaneously. The use of glass, wood, and pistons have made a machine that is truly breathtaking. The APC is by far one of the largest and most impressive builds I have taken on. The APC is a mass breeding and collection machine built from the ground up. The amount of thought and workmanship that went into this design is something that I have never done before. Welcome back everyone, it's Kirak here. Glad for you to join me again on another episode of A New Perspective. So, yeah, on this episode we're going to build the APC. It's going to go right here where I'm standing. APC stands for Animal Processing Center. It's basically a contraption we're going to build to process guys like this. Cows, pigs, and sheep alike. But before we get into it, because we got to build the holding pens as well, what I want to do is show you what I've got done so far in that direction over there with the enchantment room. I haven't got a whole lot done, but come over, check it out. I'll show you how much I've gotten done so far. And this is what I've got done so far. So as you can see, I decided to go with a wooden floor in this room. Now these are solid wood blocks, or planks that is, which means if there are, like if this room is in the slime spawn area, I'll probably end up with slime spawning in here, but I'm willing to risk it. I want to see how bad it is and see if they do spawn in here. The reason being is I want to keep it all a wooden floor so it kind of hides my bookshelves. Now if you're looking here, you can see that I've already outlined where the bookshelves will rest. Looking inside this little trench, you can see the tops of some sticky pistons that I pre-built and threw in here with some of the slime that I collected from my slime farm upstairs. I'm going to be placing the bookshelves all into these little trenches. And because of the way the bookshelves are designed, the tops will look just like the wood planks that I have on the floor. So when you walk into this room, you won't see the bookshelves at all. You'll see a wooden floor that just looks totally normal. And then from this point here all the way around, I'm going to have wooden planks, so they'll blend in as close to the ground as possible, or as close to the wooden planks as possible. And when you walk in there and trigger those pressure plates, all of the bookshelves from these sticky pistons will pop up, allowing them to be in the correct distance away from where the enchantment table will rest, therefore giving them the enchantment spells. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention, the block that you see down here, which is the one I'm standing on right now, this block represents where the enchantment table is going to go, and then the wooden block that you see above my head here, that one represents a workbench. I'm going to set that up on a piston that retracts in and out of the roof. That one you'll probably be able to see pretty clearly, but I'm not too worried about that. I want more the effect on the ground, so that when you walk in the room, all you see is an enchantment table, and as you go up to it, all of the bookshelves pop up around it. That's pretty much it. I haven't finished the room at all, as you can tell. I need to make bookshelves, which is why we're building the APC today, to get the leather that we need with the sugar cane to make the bookshelves. Yeah, and I still have to finish up the roof, and of course I have to make an enchantment table. Yeah, I'll leave that for in between episodes. Right now though, let's get to the meat of this episode, and let's go upstairs and start working on that APC. So as you can see, I've set up a bit of a workstation here with a crafting bench, some furnaces, and some chests as well. Yeah, we're going to be working on the holding pens first. They're down here. And I'm going to be replacing all these half slabs with full blocks. More than likely they would be full stone brick blocks. And then basically I'm going to put fences on top of those. I won't be doing just strictly fences. I'm going to be doing the blocks and then the fences on top to kind of help keep the pigs and the sheeps and the cows within the breeding area, or not the breeding area, but within the holding pen area. And then of course this is going to be a long corridor. I'll have gates at these entrances and exits here, here, and here, so that way I can come, flick a switch, the gates open, and then lead them out with some wheat, flick the switch and leave the rest of them that are here inside the holding pen, and then just bring them down over to the APC where I'm going to actually breed them and then mass kill them. That sounds pretty bad, doesn't it? Anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start setting up the pens. I'll do it, yeah, I'll do some time lapse, throw some music in there, and you guys can watch as I do that. See you in a little bit. And there you have it, guys. So the fences, or each of the pens that are fenced off, have been built. I haven't added the gates yet at the entrances and exits. I'll be doing that separately. And we didn't bring the wall all the way around because I'm going to be building the APC right here. But I'm going to work on putting in proper fences at the entrance and exits of each of these pens, and then I'll move some animals in. And after that's done, we will move on to working on the APC. See you in a sec. Come on, Betsy, come on. So as you can see, guys, I've put double wide openings with gates. That way these guys can pass through without any problems once I open the gates. There we go. And once I have them in, they are mine. Lock them in. Now, I don't have an automated feature for the actual gating mechanism, but I don't know. I might add some switches, one on each side. Whoops. Yeah, one on this side and one on this side, so I can flip them open and keep them open. But I may not, because this works pretty good. I'm going to grab a couple of the other cows and maybe some pigs and sheep if they're around. Put as many as I can in the pens. And yeah, then we'll work on the APC. Okay, so let's begin planting down the stairs. I am doing this by memory mostly, but the build is way too big to remember completely, so I will have to jump back and forth between this and my creative world. So let's start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Place a couple of stairs here. These are stairs that are going to lead to the levels, the different levels in the APC. Oh, actually, I don't think that guy goes there. But I got a wall of 4 here. There we go. And then it's going to be 2 wide, like so. And there will be some height to this wall. I'm just trying to get a layout at the moment. So that, and I should have a pillar here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and another pillar here. Yeah, so I'm going to go double check and make sure that I have this laid out properly. Okay, so it does look like I have it set up properly. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 goes across like that. 3, 4, 5, and that should go across and meet up. Perfect. And this is the actual opening where I will collect my loot once the animals fall through the chute and get burned up by the lava. Oh yeah, that reminds me, I'm going to have to go get some lava. I'll do that off camera and grab a couple of buckets. Maybe, I think I need, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'll need 5 buckets. Alright, so let's keep building. So this is the front facing portion of the machine. I'm going to have a switch on this side over here, and that switch will close a couple of gates made of glass that enclose the animals as they burn to death. Right now I haven't wired anything up. I have to hollow out some of the ground underneath here to do the wiring for the redstone and all the pistons that are involved. And the back side is hollowed out. Here, come, I'll show you. For exactly where the wire is going to be going, which is up in that area there. I'm going to be throwing some pistons here, so I might as well place them now. 1, oops, wrong spot. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm going to have a corresponding area right at my feet here where, like so. I'm going to have pistons that hold the other end of the glass like that. So I'm going to place glass on these sticky pistons and glass on these sticky pistons, and when they extend they will close the opening. Okay guys, so you can see I've completed the redstone wiring for this loot center, or the front end of the APC. I have a toggle switch that powers a piston. That piston shoots a block down over a hole with a redstone torch in it. When that block goes down, it actually lights up these 3, I don't know if you can see them, yeah, there are 3 repeaters, and they each send power off to different areas. This one here sends power to this block, which inverts the signal and sends power to these repeaters that are in line with the lower sticky pistons, and then the repeater that's over here, kind of where I'm standing, that shoots power to up to the upper pistons, and then this one here is going to actually feed power to pistons that are further down in the body of the APC, which we haven't built yet. So to kind of give you guys a demonstration of how it works, when I flick that toggle switch, you can see that it opens up. This would be the off state, meaning this is the state in which the APC would stay at most times. I would then breed my animals up in the holding pens in the APC, and then when I'm ready to harvest them, I would just come here, flick one switch, and that will force them through the whole entire machine eventually falling behind where these glass blocks are, and once they would die off and leave their remains, I would simply open the gate, walk in, and collect my loot. So as you can see, guys, I've constructed the killing chamber. This killing chamber is going to use a lava method or a lava blade in order to kill the animals that fall through. I'll show you. Come around here. Go up. And basically, there's going to be a water elevator system that brings them up to this level where I'm standing right now. And the water's going to push them into, or push them and drop them into the killing chamber. And as they drop like this, down to the bottom, they will suffer a little bit of fall damage, but more importantly, they're going to fall through an actual lava blade, and that's what's going to kill them and cook them all at the same time. So if they're pigs, they'll be cooked into pork chops, and if they're cows, they'll be cooked steaks. Cooked. Anyways, so I'm going to start adding in the lava blades, and this is the part where I got to be careful or I may get killed. Alright, so if I'm not mistaken, it's 5 high, and then I should have a lava blade. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. That's 4. This is 5. Like that. And before I do anything else, I'm going to add the signs in to hold the lava. Let's see if I can reach. Oh, well, I got it in the right spot. So let's put the signs in. There. And that'll hold the lava blade on one end. The other end's going to be there. 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 And I believe one more. Perfect. So that should hold the lava in place. And we should be able to throw in the lava now. Let me go up a couple blocks. That's as far as I'm going to go because I don't want to get killed. And start placing the lava. It's becoming hard to do. There we go. So there we go. We have full lava blades flowing. And if you look from underneath, and you can see the lava blade that's created and being held up by the signs. And as the animals fall through, they start to burn up. They'll fall down on this spot right here and eventually burn up and die, leaving their remains, which will be cooked and ready to be eaten. Pretty cool. So let's make a temporary infinite water source. This design is going to need a lot of pistons, glass, and it's going to manipulate water to feed the animals through. Now we're going to place some signs to hold the water in place, but we won't actually put the water in until much later in the build. And we're going to place signs here to hold the water streams that push the animals into the lava below. We want to put these here, otherwise the water would fall down onto the lava, rendering the lava useless. Alright, so now we're going to dig the hole that's going to serve a purpose as the water elevator, or the feed to the water elevator. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Like so. Now the actual walls of the outer edges of the contraption will stay, or they will continue like so. But as far as the hole that I'm building goes, the ends are going to be too deep, like that and like that, while the center portion where the grass still remains, I'm going to hollow or clear that out, is going to become 3 deep. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be back in a sec. Now the next step is adding in a set of stairs, which I'm going to grab in a moment and place them all along this side here, and also a set of pistons, which I have on me, and they are going to go over here like so. And on top of those pistons we're going to have glass like so, and this will act as a gate, preventing animals from coming and going into the elevator itself. There will be another set of pistons right above it that come down, kind of like the other end over there where you retrieve your loot. And with the stairs set, we're going to now place in the signs. The signs go right here, one above the other, all the way across. So I'm going to set those up. And the signs help the water flow the animals into the solid water area up here. It'll basically be a solid block of water where they will be forced to swim up. And that's basically it. So the next step is to throw in the water streams that will push them up the stairs and into that solid block of water. I'm going to lay down the first layer as I have 5 buckets of water with me. And then I'll go fill my buckets and lay in the second layer, which will be up against the actual pistons. So this layer at the bottom ensures that the animals will, when they fall in here, get pushed up the stairs like so into the solid block, and then it will force them to swim up. The other layer above that will basically help make sure that they swim over or get pushed over to the signs. So now what we're going to do is put in the wiring for these pistons. The wiring will obviously be underground, and once we've got it put in place, we will cover it up again. Let's do this. Bunch of repeaters, one to each of the pistons, and then redstone across. There we go. And later on we will hook into that redstone from the switch that's on the front end of the APC. Next, I'm going to link up the master switch on that end over there with the redstone wiring that's over here for these pistons. I'm going to dig out a huge trench that goes all the way so that I can do my wiring with redstone repeaters as well as redstone torches. And once I've connected everything, I'm going to cover it back up again. Now when I get to this point, I got to set up a split off so that I can send power to the pistons that are here, as well as the pistons that I'm going to place above those, and then pistons that go further out throughout the contraption. I'm going to have to hollow this stuff out, so let's clean this up a little bit. So I decided it would make more sense to throw in the pistons above the other set of pistons that we already placed. So we're going to do that next, like so. Now these set of planks are going to carry the signal over from that split off that I want to put down there for the underground wiring. And they're going to deliver the power right to the pistons. So let's see here. Place in my redstone. And I think that should be it. So let's go off here and start placing the pistons. Whoops, one of them came up crooked. Let's fix that. There we are. And lastly, I'm going to throw my glass blocks right on that. There. So we have a gate on this end that acts similarly to the gate on the other end where the loot is collected. The main difference is this gate will prevent animals from falling into the water flow that then goes to the water elevator. 3, 4, so it should be right here. Yeah. So here I'm going to place the vertical power source for those pistons that are up above. Whoops. And now we need to set up the split off itself. The way I'm going to work this is we have that, and it's going to be an inverter. So this plank goes to a redstone torch and inverts over to this other plank, which then sends the power vertically to the pistons up top. Now over here we need to set up a system that splits off the power, goes across through 4 repeaters. These 4 repeaters will prevent the power from intermingling with the power that goes over to the top pistons, and then we end it off by just simply connecting the wires. Now I have the same power source supplying power to the upper and lower pistons all in one shot. Okay guys, so the last piece of the puzzle is to drive power all the way up to the top pistons. Let me go up here. You'll notice if you look carefully, I've replaced a couple of the glass blocks with birch logs. I've done that over here, and I've done that over in the back area over there where you collect the loot. I did that intentionally to show you that the way this is wired up is important. So watch what happens. The pistons shot off real quick once the power went up to it, and what that did is it caused the pistons to leave the blocks where they were. Not a big deal. Once I hit the switch at the front, the sticky pistons at the top will come down and pick up the glass blocks. I'm going to run to the back now, or to the front of it, and flick the switch a couple times. But what's important here is keep an eye on the birch logs to kind of give you an idea of the what happens between the pistons on the front end versus the middle. So you can see the ones where I'm standing at the front end where I would collect the loot come open when I hit the switch, yet the other ones will close up. And when I hit the switch again, they reverse. This is intentional, and it is super important because when I hit the switch to kill the animals, I want the front end to be closed so that it contains them as they burn, yet the other end to be open to push them into the water elevator. So the next step is to build the wall of glass up above these signs. It's going to create basically the chamber in which the water elevator will be contained. Now you'll notice what I've done is I've taken the outside walls there and there all the way up to the top. But this back wall for the chamber of the elevator, I've left it 1 block higher than the area over there where the animals will flow to and then fall over the edge down to the lava. The reason it's 1 block higher is because I'm going to actually have a water source block in behind here that will initiate the push from when they come up the elevator. So instead of waiting till the very end to place the water in, what we'll do is we will actually fill in the chamber for the water elevator. This is probably the most tedious part because you got to lay a source block in for each spot, and there are 10 spots in every layer, and it's got to go all the way up to the top. So I'm going to begin doing this. I'll start from the bottom, and what I'll do is I'll work on it off camera, get up to the top, and once I've done that, because it's going to be pretty boring, I'll bring you guys back, okay? And now for the top. This last little bit needs a little bit of trickery. We got to place a row of glass like so, and then fill in this top area here with solid source blocks of water. So I got 10 buckets. We'll begin filling them in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what you want to do is you want to fill in also on the other side. So let me jump across like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So basically what that is it's now set up as one solid source block, or sorry, 10 solid source blocks. And that row of glass that we placed a moment ago, we're going to now destroy those. Like so. And that allows the water to run through. So when the animals come up the elevator like this, the water will be will push them across. The only oh I'm trapped. Help. Now, where was I before I was so rudely interrupted by that fall through the lava? Yeah, the only bad thing about this setup is the source blocks that are on the farther side away from the stream, in other words, the ones that are right over here on my side, they are non-flowing, meaning if the animals come up in that or in those source blocks, they will not get pushed across. So what we do to solve that problem is we place another set of water buckets all along the edge here, like so. And that way when they come up, if there are basically source blocks that are preventing them from flowing over, this will cause them to go in and then across and across into this area. And because they have a tendency to float up or swim up, they won't go back down even though there's nothing holding them here. And that's pretty much how the water elevator system will work. It'll push them across, over the edge, and into the lava, just like you saw me drop in there a few seconds ago. So I'm going to come back, and what we're going to do is we're going to continue working on the rest of the build. So the APC consists of 3 levels, 3 breeding pens, one stacked above the other. So right here where I'm standing is the bottom one. Then there will be another one above this and one more above that. I'm going to finish up the bottom portion and show you guys how I do it as I go. And then, of course, once we get that done and we start wiring in the rest of the stuff, we will work on the second level, and then, of course, lastly, the third level. So let's do this. Okay, now we gotta hollow out one more deep in the back section of this holding pen, only up until this point here. Reason we're hollowing this grass out one more level deep is because there's going to be water flows here that push the animals over to a set of stairs here and then up onto the grass. Okay, so the next step is we throw in the stairs, like so, and now I'm going to put in some signs, like this. And I have one, oh no, that's it. Okay, next we'll throw in the water, and these water streams, got 5 buckets, there we go, 3, 4, and 5. Will bring the animals right up to the steps or right up to the stairs, and as they go up to the stairs they'll get pushed up like that. Now the signs that I placed here, you may be looking at them saying, well, that water that's pushing the animals up onto the stairs doesn't really do anything. The reason the water or the signs are there is I'm going to have water that drops from above onto the stairs and the signs are there to prevent that water from flowing back into this already established stream. When that water drops onto the stairs, because the signs hold them back or holds the water back, the water can only go in this direction, and that's what pushes pushes the animals into the elevator system. Next, we're going to steal power. Go right across to there. Yeah, we're going to steal power from this line here, which comes from the main switch over at the front. Like that. And I'm going to place a block there. Do I have redstone torches? Yes, I do. And a redstone torch on top of that. The redstone wire is now going to be extended like so. So when you're hitting that button at the front of the contraption, not only are you affecting the pistons for the gates that allow access into the water elevator and into the loot, you're going to affect the pistons that I'm going to place right above those signs, which will in turn drop the water, which pushes the animals right into the water elevator. So you may be wondering why I didn't bring the redstone line all the way to the end of the plank here. Reason being is this is going to be a junction point where I send power up to the second and third levels. I'm going to do that by making an inverted junction. So one block is going to go, or sorry, one redstone torch is going to go there, a block on top of this, and then let's see if I can get across here. I'm going to place another redstone torch here, which in turn will power the line as you saw. And then on top of that, I'm going to place another plank. And on top of that plank, whoops, not there, there will be a redstone torch which carries the signal to the second and third levels of the contraption. Next, we're going to install the pistons. These are the pistons that hold back the water from falling down. And you'll notice as I place them, they're powered by that redstone line located above the planks. And that's fine. That's how I want them to stay to hold back the water. Let's go up one more level here. Next, I'm going to place some planks in, where is it? There we go. Planks that join up here. And they're going to be there for a reason. I'm going to actually split off the redstone line to power other things that belong to the bottom portion of the second layer. Lastly, I'm going to be putting glass here, here, and then right across. And this creates the trough in which the water will stay. So let's go up one more level. There we go. Now I'm going to place the buckets of water that I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And what I'll be doing is I'll be running over to the master switch, hitting it, and I'll give you guys a slightly better angle so you can see how the water flow functions. After having hit the switch, I noticed that I had forgot to put in an inverter. So on this line, I need to invert the signal before it goes to this pillar that brings the tower that brings the power all the way up to the second and third level, as well as those pistons holding back the water. So now I'm going to give you guys a good angle and flick the switch a few times so you can see it functioning. Here you can see a side shot that shows you the water being held in the trough on the right side of your screen. And if you look over to the left where you see the green sticky pistons, this is where the animals get pushed into the water elevator. So if those pistons are holding the water on the left side of your screen from falling down, the animals can roam freely in that patch of grass. But as soon as you hit the switch, the gate opens, the water starts to flow, and the animals get pushed into the water elevator. That's basically how it works. So the whole idea behind this is being able to time water flows and pistons to allow it to do stuff by the simple flick of one switch. Alright, now we're going to work on installing some redstone torches that will actually be used to power gates on the second level of the APC. So we're going to actually utilize the same power source right here, this line of redstone. Oh, whoops. There we go. And bring it across. We're going to invert that signal once again. So on the other side of this, I'm going to place a torch. And then over here, let's see, how do I do this? I'm going to go across. Actually, let's do it like this, like that. And then we're going to remove that one and place another. And now we're going to go across with two planks side by side. One level higher than the inverted redstone torch that I set to the end. So it goes all along the level of the water. Now I'm going to place another one right there. Get that back. And this one's going to come all the way back like that. And to get the power in the right place, we're going to place some repeaters right across, and then we're going to steal that redstone line and bring it across over to each of the repeaters. So this inverter inverts the power, brings it over to all of the repeaters, and the repeaters will draw that power from the redstone line through this block. There we go, and to these redstone torches. And when I hit the switch, these torches will actually turn off. And that will affect the gates on the second level, because the new level of or the second level of the APC is going to begin right there, like that, and the gates will sit above that. So I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but once we get it working, I'll show you exactly what I mean. So the last step for the wiring on the first floor is to bring over power to a set of pistons that are going to go here, and they're going to act as gates to control whether the animals fall from the second floor or not. Let's see here. I'm going to do this, place one here, get rid of the one underneath. Then we're going to go on top, place another one. We want it to be too wide, and we're going to bring this right across in this fashion. There we go. And then I'm going to place one more here, but I'm going to place a sticky piston right on top of that, and then I'm going to remove the block that's underneath. It's not necessary, I just needed it for positioning. Now we're going to go across and we're going to be placing the sticky pistons so that they're all oriented in the correct direction. There we go. One more. And now the wiring. We're going to put redstone repeaters all along, touching the pistons, and then a redstone line that comes across, down, and steals power. And you saw as I connected it, all the pistons went up. And on top of these sticky pistons, I'm going to have glass blocks, which will be blocking the animals from dropping down. Or when the pistons are down, it'll allow the animals to fall down. Hey guys, so if you look over here, you can actually see I created a stepping system to get the grass from the bottom to grow all the way up to the second level of the APC. Eventually, when it grows there, I will make another step system that brings it up to the third level. But what we're going to do now is we're going to actually work on setting up the flushing system. So that's going to be done over here. And the way we're going to set up the flushing system is we're going to steal power from this redstone line. Now, unlike the other redstone that we've been working on, this is not connected to the main switch. This is connected to a separate switch, and it is basically a, oh, that goes there. It is basically a separate line because it is only used when I want to flush the system of all animals. Alright, so I believe we're going to place, whoa, almost fell in, a torch on the other side of this block, like that, and then a block on top of that, torch, and we're going to alternate to bring the power up. And one more. Yeah. So it's a bunch of planks that go across. Like so. And then we're going to be placing regular pistons, not sticky pistons, in this orientation. And on top of that, we're going to bring that redstone signal like so. And what will happen is we're going to be placing water in behind those pistons to block it off. And then once that separate switch is flicked, these pistons will retract, allowing the water to fall down, and when they fall down, it'll push all the animals down to this end over here. And that'll flush the system. I will have a similar setup on the upper level, which will be the third level. So here's a better angle. If I hit the secondary switch on my system, the flushing switch, when I flip it up, you'll notice that the water comes out. And that'll push the animals partway through to the middle area of the second level. I'm going to eventually create a similar setup on the third level, and it'll only push them partway through because where they get to will be a series of gates. So in the next scene, you're going to see those gates, and it'll make sense at that point. Next, we're going to place the fence gates on the second level of the APC. You'll see the water stream coming from the flushing system. The gates get placed on the very last block in this fashion. And if you remember correctly, on the lower floor of the APC, we had those redstone torches. Those redstone torches are controlled by the master switch over by the front. So whenever that switch is hit, these gates will open and close. So you can see the setup here. This is the first level of the APC. Redstone torches here on the right. Redstone repeaters as well as pistons on the left. And now we need to repeat that same setup on the upper level, or the second level of the APC. We'll begin by bringing the signal up. Let's see if I can pillar up here. And now we have the gate that controls whether the animals fall down to the first floor from the second floor. And above me, I've already put those torches in that you see over there. Those torches control the actual fence gates that are going to go on the third floor, and the pistons that you see up above here, those are going to be the pistons that control a gate sending the animals from the third floor down to the second, through the hole that's there down to the first. So here's a better explanation of how it works. The second level of the APC is complete. Imagine that area being full of animals, be it cows or pigs, doesn't really matter. Once I want to harvest them, I simply flick the switch. The fence gates close, separating my herd, therefore only half of them or some of them will get pushed over by the water to the hole on the right side of your screen. They fall through to the first floor, and water from there pushes them through to the water elevator. Basically, it's a way of continuously replenishing my loot without having to bring new animals into the APC. However, if I wish to flush the system, I would basically do this I would undo that. There you go. So it would be in this condition. And then I would go and turn on the flushing system, like so. The animals would get pushed to the ends of the fences. Then I would hit the main switch again, and water would come down, pick up those animals and push them through. This action would actually flush the second floor of the APC, clearing out all of the animals so that I can make room for new types of animals such as sheep or pig or whatever I want to put in there. Now we need to extend the flushing system up to the third floor. and this will carry the signal from down below and trigger a bunch of pistons I'm going to throw in that holds water on this side. So just like the floor below, the animals get flushed out to the edge by this water. Just like we did on the floor below this one, we're going to throw some fence gates in right on the edge of the water, like that. And these fence gates are controlled by the set of redstone torches that we placed underneath on the second floor. Now we need to bring the signal up to the top floor. So we're going to be doing this. Let's see if I can pillar up here. So that's number 2. 3. And I believe 1 more. And on this one we're going to put a redstone torch on the other side, and then bring the signal over this way, like so. And that is going to power a set of pistons, one for the gate controls and one for the water control that drops down to the fence gates down below. And with the last floor of the APC complete, we can basically move on to the very final step, and that is adding in the easy load system. Some of you might be wondering, well, how are you going to get the cows up here, up over through the stairs? Nope, we're going to make 3 chutes that go down this left side of the APC here, or actually the right side if you're looking at it from in front of the machine. And those 3 chutes, one will go to the main floor, one will go to the second floor, and one will come up here to the 3rd floor. And we will load animals into each floor based on these elevator or water elevator chutes. I haven't closed up this area here because I'm waiting for the grass to come up in order to fill in the floor of the actual 3rd floor. So the grass has made its way up to the 3rd floor. I'm going to take this scaffolding down, and as you can see right above me over here, I've put in the 3rd floor area. So each floor is accessible via stairs, and those areas are there for breeding purposes. We'll go up there with some wheat and feed the animals in each of the holding pens. Now what I'll do is I will show you how the contraption works and how all the water flows work before I put in the easy load chutes, because once I throw those in, it'll obstruct any view, so I won't be able to show it at that point. Be right back. Okay, so now with the whole system complete, hopefully this little demonstration will kind of get the message across. In Imagine both the first floor, second floor, and third floor pens full of animals to the point where they go past the fence gates in the middle. Once I decide that they're ready for harvest, the only thing I have to do is hit the one switch, and when I hit the one switch, those fence gates shut off, which cut the herd in two, and then water flows down and pushes all the ones that are on the right side of the fence on your screen into the holes that are on the right side of the APC, and they fall through down to the very first floor, and because of the permanent water stream there and the additional water stream in the middle, they get pushed into the water elevator, and that water elevator will bring them up to the top, across, and drop them through the lava right at the point where I collect my loot. And just as before, if I choose to, I can actually flush the system, in other words get rid of all animals in the APC by turning on the flushing system first, and those water streams bring the animals to the open gates, so they pass through the gates, and then I activate the master switch, and those animals all get picked up and brought over through the holes, again down to the first floor, to the water elevator, and then dropped into the lava. That's pretty much the way the system works. Now we're going to concentrate on putting up those easy load chutes, and once that's done, I will bring some animals in, start breeding them, and show you how it works with animals in the unit. Now we're going to build the easy loaders. They're pretty much going to be 3 side-by-side water elevators. And the first one is going to be a short one that'll basically take the animals into the first floor over here. And then the second one on the right will be a water elevator that takes the animals up to the second floor, and the furthest one to the right will basically be one that will take the animals 1, 2, place, 1, 2, place, 1, 2, place. Yeah, the last one will take them up to the third floor. In this way, I can grab the animals from in the pens over there, bring them up, and then feed them directly onto the floor that I want to put them in. I'm going to build these up, and then once I've got them built up, I'm going to throw some water in them and then bring you guys back and show you how I load the animals into the APC. So as you can see, I'm almost finished building the structure for the easy loaders. I've done the one that goes to the first and the second floor. I'm finalizing the one that now goes to the third floor. Like the water elevator that brings the animals up and then over into the lava, when I fill each of these 3 tunnels, I have to fill them with solid source blocks all the way. And there it is, guys. The APC is totally finished. Sure, I gotta throw in some lights here and there, maybe some jack-o'-lanterns to light up certain areas. And of course I gotta close up the holes in the ground for the wiring that was underground, but the contraption is functioning, and we're gonna go grab some sheep and cows and stuff and load them in right now. Come on, guys. I just want 2 of you. Come on. 1, 2. Thank you. Okay, follow me this way. Come on. This way. So what I'll do is I'll place the cows into the easy loader chute that brings them up to the 3rd floor. So I'm going to push them in. When I push them in, they start going up. And when they get up to the top, they're going to come out of the water flow and be pushed into the 3rd floor. Let me grab the other guy. Come on. Now, theoretically, this design of the APC can be stacked almost indefinitely to the top of the world, or to the world limit. The only bad thing is even though the easy loader makes it easy to put animals into each of the floors, the higher the floor means that the animal will travel with more time with less air, which means they can potentially drown. In fact, in my testing, some of them get up to the top and they don't die, but they take some damage as they go up the easy load. There we go. So I've loaded 2 of them. Now I'm going to go grab a couple of pigs, throw those guys on the 2nd floor. So these holding pens are not designed to hold many animals. Come on. Come on through. I just need 2 of you. Oh no. Come on. Yeah, I got to figure out a slightly better way to do this. But basically, I'm going to hold like a seed stock in these pens, and then I breed them when they're in the APC. Come on. Come on. All right. Oops. Come on, get out. Go back in. Okay, good. I got a couple. Let's bring these guys. Come on. Come on, guys. I'm right here. One of the things that I know has changed in 1.4, which is due out soon, is going to be the fact that pigs don't follow wheat. They follow carrots, which means I'll have to start planting carrots. I'm not entirely sure if that applies to other animals or if it's just pigs. Okay, now I'm going to push this guy in. So in the second chute, and he will go up to the second floor. Come here. Come here. Come on. Right here, buddy. I have some wheat for you. There we go. Follow me. Good. Now I'm going to push him in. And that's it. So that's how the easy load system works. In this way I can throw combinations of different animals. I can throw cows on the top, pigs on the second, sheep on the middle, or I could do different colored sheeps on each layer, or I could do all of the layers the same animal to get a bigger loot. For example, if I want cooked pork chops or cooked steaks. And that's pretty much it. So what I'm going to do now is I'll load some sheep on the bottom one. I won't show you that because you guys get the general idea. Then I'm going to spend some time breeding them while they are in the holding pens in the APC. Once I have those holding pens full, I will bring you guys back and show you an actual functioning APC with all animals and the loot that I get in return. Okay guys, it's getting kind of late here. It's been several hours. I've been breeding these guys non-stop. Tried to put my cameraman in a good position so you can see each of the levels filled with the different animals. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to run over to that master switch, hit the master switch, and from the point of view that you have, you should see them going through the system. So the loot area at the front here is open by default when the system is off, but as soon as I flick the switch and it turns on, the front area or the gate here at the front where you loot items closes so that when they're burning inside there, they don't run around, run around and set fire to other places. So I'm going to hit the switch. You're going to see that the gates open and the animals start to fall through. But not the entire herd falls through, because I have those fence gates that contain at least half of them or some of them. Now the cows will kind of float there for a sec, but eventually they will fall through. And as they fall through, you're going to notice them coming into the elevator system. So I'm going to change angle and show you. And here you see that they're coming through from all of the levels down to the bottom level, getting fed through the elevator system, and they drop into the lava. And on my end, you can see as they fall through the lava, they burn and leave their drops. So I'm getting cooked steaks, cooked pork chops, and wool as well. And of course, if I dye the wool before they go through, I can get different colored wool. The only one real disadvantage to this machine is that it takes a long time for it to flush through the system. As you can see, I still have stragglers, and there are some that haven't even gone through the elevator yet. You can see them going up in the background. But essentially, this is the way it works. When I want to pick up my stuff, all I got to do is run over to the switch, turn the system off, gate opens, and I collect all my stuff. Yeah, now these pigs might run around. That's why these gates close when I hit the switch. But it filters through, and then I can grab all my loot. And that, guys, is the APC. And there's one last thing I want to show you guys. What we did there was a harvest without using up all the animals in the second and third floor. The first floor doesn't actually have a system to retain any of the animals, so the first floor always gets cleared out. So if I have a harvest or something that I want to harvest often, like let's say cooked steaks, I'd probably keep the second and third floor full and leave the, hello Mr. Enderman, and leave the, whoa, where'd he go? And leave basically the first floor empty. Oh, there he is. He's on the other side of the APC. Oh yeah, come on. Whatever. Anyways, what I do want to show, which I haven't shown, is flushing the system. So in order to flush the system, what I would basically do is hit that flush switch on the APC, which is a separate switch from the master switch. And when I hit the flush switch, you can see that all the animals get pushed over. And the idea is they're going to get pushed over to where the fence gates are. Yeah, it's not perfect. You can see them going over and trying, but they won't go much further simply because of the fact that I haven't opened the master gate yet. So let's open the master gate and leave both systems running, the flush water as well as the water that moves them over. And given enough time, it will basically flush any of the animals out. It's pretty neat, eh? So what I've done is basically created a machine that manages masses of animals. Let's close. Now I'm toggling the switch. By doing that, it opens up the gates, the fence gates again, and allows them through. Toggle it again, and it should allow them to fall through. So all I got to do is do this a couple times, and it clears out all of the animals that are in the APC. And that's not a big deal because I have all the pens on the side that I can replenish from. So guys, I know it's been a really long episode, but I hope you liked this episode. It was kind of a mixture of a build and slash tutorial. I've had this thing planned out for, I don't know, 4 or 5 months now. I just haven't had a chance in my New Perspective series to build it at a practical point in the storyline. Yeah, but this is the kind of stuff I like doing. It's cool. Gives me quick resources, and I enjoy it. The redstone is a bit of a challenge. I'm not a genius at it, but I have fun doing it. If you guys like it, please like the video. If you guys have comments, if you guys have suggestions for improvements, let me know. I look forward to reading them. Okay, guys? So this episode is over. I'm going to head off, and I hope you guys have a good day. Bye-bye. This machine was built from the ground up to take advantage of mass slaughter.